Most people think they need to spend $600 to get a flagship experience, but the cheap Android smartwatch market has actually caught up. The mainstream market has officially lost its mind. If you want a brand new Galaxy Watch 8 or the high-end Ultra, you are looking at a price tag anywhere from $300 to $700. If you're just getting into wearables, or you only care about the essentials, notifications, fitness tracking, maybe a bit of smart assistant, then this is where things get interesting. Because the sweet spot for value right now sits right around the $200 mark. And once you understand what you're giving up and what you're secretly gaining, the whole smartwatch market looks very different. Let's start with the one that honestly feels like it shouldn't be here at this price: the Samsung Galaxy Watch 7. Samsung's newer watches now climb all the way up to $650, but the Watch 7, thanks to frequent deals, can drop under $200. And when that happens, it's borderline absurd value. You're getting a bright, high-resolution AMOLED display that can hit 2,000 nits, a fast Exynos W1000 chip paired with 2 GB of RAM, and Wear OS 6 with full access to the Play Store and Gemini right on your wrist. This thing is genuinely fast, faster than anything else in this price bracket. And that speed matters when you're using real apps instead of just glancing at notifications. What really sets it apart is how complete it feels. Dual-band GPS, NFC for payments, and a full suite of health sensors including heart rate, ECG, blood oxygen, body composition, and skin temperature, all wrapped in a light but rugged design with sapphire crystal and military-grade durability. The trade-off is battery life, around 40 hours, but that's the price you pay for having the smartest experience here. Now, if that sounds amazing, but you don't want to charge your watch every day or two, this is where things pivot. Wear OS watches are powerful, but they're thirsty. And that's exactly why Amazfit has carved out such a strong reputation in the budget space. The Amazfit Balance is the definition of a well-rounded alternative. It doesn't run Wear OS, instead using Zepp OS 4, but in return you get up to 14 days of battery life, even 7 days with heavy use, which already puts it in a completely different league. You still get a big, sharp AMOLED display, dual-band GPS, NFC for payments, and a built-in mic and speaker for Bluetooth calls. And then there's Zepp Flow, Amazfit's AI system powered by ChatGPT 4o. It lets you reply to messages hands-free, check your health stats, ask about the weather, and more. It wasn't perfect at launch, but it's been steadily improving. On the fitness side, this thing is stacked. Over 150 sports modes, readiness scores, an AI coach, offline maps, routes, and meditation tools. What you don't get are third-party apps, LTE, ECG, or skin temperature. But for the price it often drops to, the balance it strikes is kind of the point. Then there's Fitbit, a name that's almost synonymous with fitness tracking. The Fitbit Versa 4 is not flashy, but it's reliable in a way that matters. You get nearly 6 days of battery life, a large AMOLED display, built-in GPS, heart rate and blood oxygen tracking, and support for Fitbit's growing suite of insights. Google's influence is obvious here. You gain Google Maps, Google Wallet, and YouTube Music, but you lose some of the smarts older Fitbits had, like a voice assistant and broader app support. The real reason the Versa 4 is still relevant is software support. It's supported through 2027, and Google continues to add new features. Things like cardio load scores and the upcoming Fitbit Personal Health Coach, which uses your past data to build personalized workout plans and even lets you talk to a Gemini-powered AI coach. Some of this is still in beta and requires a Fitbit Premium subscription, but it shows Fitbit isn't abandoned, even if the hardware itself is aging. If you specifically want Wear OS, real apps, Gemini, but without Samsung prices, there's one compromise that stands out: the OnePlus Watch 2R. It doesn't pretend to be perfect. You get Wear OS 4, dual processors, 2 GB of RAM, 32 GB of storage, and around 2 to 3 days of battery life, which is actually excellent for a Wear OS watch. It charges fast too, going from 0 to full in about an hour. The sacrifices are obvious. No LTE, no advanced health sensors, slower software updates compared to Samsung or Google, and fewer premium touches like crown navigation or multiple size options. But at deal prices, it delivers a proper Wear OS experience without feeling crippled, and that alone makes it stand out in a space full of half measures.
Now, if your priorities lean heavily toward fitness and battery life, Garmin does things very differently. The Garmin Vivoactive 5 is one of the few relatively new Garmin watches that regularly drops into this cheap category. You get up to 11 days of battery life, accurate GPS, NFC for payments, and Garmin's trademark fitness insights like body battery, HRV, stress tracking, sleep coaching, and recovery suggestions. It's light, comfortable, and great for workouts. What you don't get is Garmin's more advanced training tools or smartwatch perks like Bluetooth calling. Garmin locks those behind higher-priced models. But if you want the essentials done extremely well without charging every night, this is a solid compromise. And then there's the wild card. The one that almost feels like it breaks the rules. The CM Watch Pro 2. This thing costs under $100, and yet it includes an AMOLED display, built-in GPS, heart rate and blood oxygen tracking, Bluetooth calling, and battery life that can stretch past a week. It even has a rotating crown and an interchangeable aluminum bezel, which is just ridiculous at this price. Of course, corners are cut. There's no NFC for payments. Performance and accuracy aren't on the same level as more expensive watches, and it doesn't have the app ecosystem of Wear OS. But when you look at what it offers for the money, it's genuinely impressive. There isn't another watch in this price range that feels this complete. And this is where everything comes together. Choosing a cheap Android smartwatch isn't about finding the best one. It's about choosing the right compromises. Wear OS gives you apps, Gemini, and long-term updates, but you pay with battery life and price. Fitness-focused watches last longer and feel better for sleep tracking, but they're smarter in a quieter, more limited way. Save money in the wrong place, and you'll regret it every time you look at your wrist. But save money in the right place, you end up with a smartwatch that quietly does exactly what you need, and nothing you don't.